Now, I know society has a habit of making you feel like you're incomplete without someone beside you, like love is a race, and if you're running alone, you're automatically losing. But let me tell you something. Being single doesn't mean being lonely. It means being whole, being focused, being free. You are not a half waiting for someone to complete you. You are already complete. You don't need a girlfriend to validate your worth, your ambition, or your potential. You're not behind, you're just building. Quietly, powerfully, because here's the truth. A man with no girlfriend is a man with no distractions. A man with no girlfriend is a man with time to build his dreams, chase his goals, grind in silence, and shine in public. When you're not worried about replying to texts every 5 minutes or decoding cryptic Instagram stories, you're investing that energy into something priceless. Yourself, your growth, your peace, your ambition. Being single doesn't mean being lonely. It means being whole, being focused, being free. This quote breaks the myth that being in a relationship is the only path to happiness or completeness. In a world that constantly feeds us the idea that love is the ultimate goal, it's easy to feel like we're missing something if we're not in a relationship. But here's the truth. Singleness is not a weakness. It's not a flaw. And it's definitely not a punishment. It can be a powerful phase of self-growth and discovery. When you're single, you have time, uninterrupted, undivided time. You're not sharing your emotional energy with someone else, which means you can pour that energy into yourself. You can reflect on who you are, what you want, and where you're going. That's what it means to be whole. You don't need another person to give your life meaning. You can build that meaning on your own through your passions, your work, your purpose, and your journey. Being focused is the natural result of that. No distractions, no mixed signals, no emotional roller coasters, just clarity. You can chase your goals with tunnel vision, stay up late building your dreams, and wake up early knowing you're building something real. You don't have to constantly check your phone, worry about impressing someone, or adjust your pace to match theirs. You're running your own race. And freedom, that's the best part. Emotional freedom, mental freedom, physical freedom. You can go where you want, talk to who you want, take risks, make mistakes, grow, fall, rise, all on your own terms. That freedom isn't about avoiding responsibility or commitment. It's about having the space to become the best version of yourself before inviting someone else into your world. This quote isn't anti-love. It's not about rejecting relationships. It's about understanding that a relationship should be a choice, not a need. When you're single and thriving, you're not waiting to be rescued. You're building your own castle. And when someone finally comes along, they won't find a broken man looking to be fixed. They'll find a solid whole man, focused, free, and ready to love without losing himself in the process. So the next time someone looks at you with pity and asks, "Why are you still single?" just smile, because what they see as loneliness is actually power. You are not a half waiting for someone to complete you. You are already complete. This quote is a bold reminder that you are whole just as you are. It challenges the common idea that love is about finding your other half, as if you're somehow incomplete until you meet that one special person. But here's the truth. You were never missing anything to begin with. You don't need another person to make you valuable, worthy, or fulfilled. From a young age, many of us are taught that the goal of life is to find someone who fills the gaps in us. Someone who completes us. It sounds romantic, but it's actually dangerous. Why? Because it places your happiness and your sense of self-worth in someone else's hands. It tells you that you're not enough on your own. And that's not true. You have your own dreams, your own talents, your own personality, your own strengths and struggles. You are a full person with your own story, your own value. Waiting around for someone to come along and fix the parts you think are broken can leave you stuck. It puts your life on pause. Instead, recognize that the power to grow, to heal, to evolve, all of that already lives inside you. Completeness doesn't come from love. It comes from self-awareness, from knowing who you are, what you believe in, and what you want from life. It comes from making peace with your past and being present in your own journey. No relationship, no matter how magical, can give you that. If you don't feel whole when you're alone, you'll still feel empty even when you're with someone. This quote is also a call to shift the way we see relationships. Love isn't about two halves becoming one. It's about two complete individuals choosing to walk beside each other, support each other, and grow together. Not because they need each other, but because they respect, admire, and value one another. That's healthy love. That's lasting love. So, if you're single right now, don't sit there thinking you're missing your other half. Look in the mirror. That person staring back at you is already enough. Already worthy. Already whole. Use this time to build yourself, to enjoy your own company, to become someone who doesn't just wait for love, but inspires it. Because when love does come, it should find you standing strong, not waiting to be completed, but ready to share the completeness you already own. You're not half of anything, you are everything. A man with no girlfriend is a man with no distractions. This quote flips the usual narrative. In a world where being single is often treated like a problem that needs fixing, it presents a fresh and powerful perspective. It says, this isn't a setback, it's a setup. A man who isn't in a relationship has a unique advantage that many overlook. He has time, he has mental space, he has clarity, and most importantly, he has freedom from distractions. Distractions aren't always loud or obvious. Sometimes they come disguised as love. Sometimes they come dressed as attention, validation, or the need to constantly please someone else. When a man is in a relationship that isn't aligned with his goals, values, or growth, it can pull him away from his purpose, slowly, subtly, and silently. Every argument, every insecurity, every demand for time or emotional energy takes up space in his mind that could have been used to build, to grind, to level up. A man with no girlfriend doesn't have to split his focus. He's not worried about decoding mixed signals, keeping up with constant communication, or adjusting his life to fit into someone else's expectations. He can go all in on his career, on his health, on his mindset, on his goals. He can wake up and plan his day entirely on his own terms. That kind of mental and emotional freedom is a gift, not a gap. This isn't about saying relationships are bad. The right one can elevate you, push you, inspire you, but the wrong one or the wrong timing can hold you back. So when a man is single, he's in a season where his focus is laser sharp. No emotional roller coasters, no late night overthinking, just him, his ambition, and the grind. It's in these moments of solitude that the real growth happens. The silence teaches discipline. The freedom teaches accountability. The stillness reveals direction. When a man has no girlfriend, he often starts to discover who he truly is. Without influence, without compromise, without distraction. And here's the beauty of it. When a man uses this time wisely, when he builds his foundation strong, when he becomes whole and self-sufficient, he won't just attract someone, he'll attract the right one. Because he's not looking out of lack, but out of strength. So this quote isn't about devaluing love, it's about valuing purpose. It's about reminding every man out there that being single isn't a pause in life, it's part of the process. It's not a waiting room, it's a training ground. And if you embrace it, use it, and stay focused, it will shape you into someone unstoppable. A man with no girlfriend isn't missing something. He's preparing for everything. You're not behind. You're just building, quietly, powerfully. This quote speaks directly to anyone who feels like they're falling behind in life just because they're not in a relationship, not constantly posting about romantic moments, or not following the timeline that society has laid out. It's a reminder that progress isn't always loud. Growth doesn't always make headlines. And just because your life looks different from someone else's right now doesn't mean you're failing. It might just mean you're focused. There's this pressure today from social media, from friends, even from family, that if you're not in a relationship, you're somehow off track. You start hearing questions like, when are you going to settle down? Or don't you want someone in your life? And slowly you begin to question yourself, wondering if you've missed something or if you're falling behind. But what this quote reminds us is that building takes time. Real, lasting things are built brick by brick, not overnight. When you're building, it often happens in silence. While others are out seeking validation, you're investing in your goals. While some are posting couple selfies, you're working late nights, building your body, your career, your mindset. That's not something the world always sees, but it's what will make all the difference in the long run. Quiet work is powerful work. It's the kind that doesn't seek approval, it doesn't beg for attention, it just shows up every single day. And eventually, it speaks for itself in results, in confidence, in unshakable presence. You don't need to prove to anyone what you're doing, you just need to keep doing it. Because when the time comes, the world will see what you were up to, while they were busy watching everyone else. Being single doesn't mean you're off course. It might mean you're on the right course. One that's less about noise and more about depth. One where you're becoming someone who doesn't just look ready on the outside, but truly is ready from within. And that kind of readiness can't be rushed. It's built through consistency, focus, patience, and intention. You don't owe the world an explanation for your pace. You don't need to follow a timeline that doesn't match your path. Because what you're building right now, whether it's your business, your strength, your peace, or your mindset, that's the foundation for everything that's coming next. So don't be discouraged if your life feels quiet or if you're not in the spotlight. Silence doesn't mean stagnation, and solitude doesn't mean weakness. You're not late, you're just locked in. And when you finally step into the light, it won't be to catch up. It'll be to take the lead. You're not behind, you're just building, quietly, powerfully,